Click Stuff is brought to you by Lucky Dice Cafe out of Huntsville, Alabama. Check them out at luckydicecafe.com.
Welcome to Click Stuff.
Hey everybody, welcome to Click Stuff today. This is your host Daniel Powell speaking. Just want to let everyone know that Click Stuff is brought to you by trollandtoad.com and that trollandtoad.com's Black Friday sale starts Friday, November 29th at midnight Eastern, and we'll have tons of great deals on HeroClix items. So check them out all Black Friday weekend for great deals on HeroClix. And you can use coupon code ClickStuff at trollandtoad.com for 5% off your HeroClix order. Merchant items do not apply. And also, if you like what we do here at ClickStuff, feel free to check us out at patreon.com/ClickStuff. $1 and above gets you entered into our monthly giveaways. $5 and above gets you entered into our exclusive Discord channel and HeroClix training classes. Also, we have a giveaway for a $100 web credit going on our Facebook page, facebook.com/ClickStuff. Everything from a simple comment to being a patron subscriber to a new YouTube subscriber. 3 ways to enter a $100 web credit with trollandtoad.com. So all the different ways to interact with ClickStuff and check out our brand. And without further ado, I've got Tylor, the Whaleman Speeds, joining us today. Couldn't think of anything else other than the Whaleman today. It's just
classic.
A classic. Yeah, it's just a classic one. It's been kind of quiet the past couple of weeks, so there hasn't been a lot to. There's not been a new nickname for you,
which is fine. That's a classic. I don't mind. I don't mind it.
Yeah. So, So today Jason is not joining us, so we are going to save our retail ranking until Jason can join us. Jason wants to be able to participate in that one. So for the rest of the year, we will have ranking retails. We'll be doing our year-end wrap-up, year-end award episode.
I'm excited about that.
Yeah, it'd be the first one you get to participate in.
No, I was actually on the last one.
Oh, were you last year?
I was like a guest, yeah.
Oh, as a guest, but now you're there. Now you're here as a host.
Yeah.
You were on when you were talking about you winning Worlds, right?
Yeah.
So,
it was a good time. That was a good time.
Yeah, it's a good time.
No longer. I'm washed up now.
Oh, gosh, no. Yeah. Oh, no. Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking is...
I was washed up?
No, I'll explain. Sometimes I speak before I get my thoughts all the way out.
Sure.
Is that I won 2 Rock World Championships. You won WizKids World Championships, World Championship, and then oh no, we only made top 8 the next year.
Yeah, we're done. We're washed up, man. We just got to accept it.
Yeah, I'm like, oh gosh, I'm not like, there's what, I don't know, 15 world champions in HeroClix,
maybe
something like that. 15 to 20, and it's like, that's a lifetime achievement within the game.
Probably. I would agree with that.
I mean, you can do it more than once, obviously, but like doing it once, like, puts you into like the pantheon of all HeroClix players.
Yeah.
So I don't think you're ever would be considered washed up. I mean, there have been plenty of world champions that have just retired.
Yeah, that's true.
You know,
Pat kind of retired.
I mean, Pat retired, and then Dan Joins retired.
Man,
Was
I
he
don't
the
know
one?
any of the older ones.
Yeah, he did. He won. He was the one that won twice, I think.
Wasn't there
Uh,
somebody named like Adam or Alex or?
yeah, Alex Avelio.
Yeah, that guy.
He came around a couple of years ago, but he retired. Um, but I mean, you got folks that like George. You know,
Yep.
he was the first one of modern era, and you know, still is playing, so still doing good.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, he's doing okay.
yeah. So nobody would ever say that he was washed up. So I think you're a little too hard on yourself, Tyler.
Maybe a little self-deprecation.
Yeah, a little self-deprecating. I mean, it's you know, I think it's gotten, with all the information sharing, it's been a good thing. Because it's brought up the competition level so much.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of, well, I didn't know that piece did that.
Sure. I can't really speak to that because I'm sort of new to the scene, but
Right. Well, you're only like a year behind me in general, maybe a year and a half.
yeah, but that year was a lot, right? Because it was
That,
like the batteries. I didn't really play with the batteries.
well, that's true. I mean, yeah. So I mean, the amount of information sharing also increased greatly in that amount of time. Because I mean, that's when I first started, and just people would not help you at a competitive level. You know,
Yeah.
you'd ask questions, and folks would be like, "Oh yeah, well that works, but you know, I'm not going to tell you the little secret piece that I'm going to be playing." You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
I mean, I think if we had that level of resources again, we might get a little bit of that, but because the resources made so many things much better. But I think if we did have that level come back, you know, we would talk about it and make videos and make content and, you know, have all kinds of cool discussions on them. So I'd love to see the power batteries come back.
Yeah, we know you would, Dan.
Well, I mean, it's not even like they're that overpowered.
Maybe not now. I think I was talking with Adam maybe about this, or maybe PJ, about the orange battery might not be like that big of a deal anymore, just because there's no like improved anything, you know.
Right.
So it's like, you know, you can't turn off all of the improved abilities, right? Abilities I don't even think are a thing anymore.
Right. Their abilities aren't a thing, right? And it depends on how they worded it, right? I mean,
Yeah.
they could say it turns off the new version of improved abilities.
Yeah.
So I mean, those things are. Let's see. I'm gonna make sure I say it correctly. It doesn't even say in the pack what they're called. But whatever, right? I mean, just the improved, you know, the improved abilities or whatever, right? You know, they could take that stuff away. But it's not even so much that. It's, you know, there was things where the entities were with them, and you know, a lot of that stuff is like the entities and the batteries aren't even that point efficient anymore.
I don't want to agree with you, but I'm having trouble not.
Well, it's like ID cards are super powerful, right?
Yeah.
And having theme currently, so adding in a couple of Floras or a couple of Carnages or a couple more Giant Girls, you know, helps to make some of those helps to make some of those teams that much more overpowering.
Sure.
So that, I mean, that's the perspective I'm thinking of where like a 25 point entity is kind of replaced by like a 4 point or a 5 point Mandarin ring or a Venom symbiote or something. And it gives you just enough functionality.
Yeah, it's possible. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave that to other people because I don't want to dive into um, that realm of Golden Age. It just seems like a big headache to me.
Oh, it is. It's a giant headache,
Yeah.
and I don't think it's really been done correctly at this point. So, um, it's going to take, it's going to, for like Golden Age to become a thing. It's going to take whiz kids to go in and basically print new cards, or say, here's the slosh set, and here's a $20, $30, $50 card pack that you can buy from us to replace all of the cards from slosh with updated wording.
Which is never, I mean, that's, never going to happen. So they have to, I don't know, figure something else out.
Right, yeah. Or, WizKids would have to make a massive effort for it to be done, I think, to the standard of calling it, a world's level event or something like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
WizKids did a Golden Age Worlds that.
Really?
Yeah, they did. It was the one that Jake Williams won. So, but that was before the rules update. And that's what got the cop cars errated.
Okay. That's
you think your shredders were bad?
Yeah, I've heard. I just actually had those explained to me this week at Rock Up.
At Rock Up, yeah, it's pretty crazy. I was going to tell you what he was a 2013 Golden Age World Champion, and as far as I know, it was the only one that that had ever been done. I can't find out what team he played, but he played several Golden Age police guys.
Yeah.
That filled out his theme on that team, and then the modern age was the cop cars.
Yeah, I mean that is probably good. That's why shredders are played in Golden right now too.
Right. Yeah. But that year was won by the. Hold on, I'm gonna look and see. Player designed. Realms has a good, good thread on that. The 2013 was Daniel Joins the first time. So that would have been, I'm sorry, Daniel joined the second time. So that would have been Ghost Rider Bat Belt meta.
Oh, I remember that. I had the Bat Belt. That was like right when I got in. That was the first retail I ever bought, and it was dumb.
Yeah.
Played that thing with Absorbing Man. That was a fun day.
Yeah, it was dumb even after the fact.
Did that Absorbing Man ever get played in meta? Because I love that thing. It seemed broken.
It did. But there's always been the ability in competitive play to just make a bunch of attacks.
Yeah, that probably makes sense. So, that was the first, I beat my local judge playing Absorbing Man with the Bat Belt in a King of the Hill, and it was awesome. I felt real cool.
Yeah. You're talking about the LE Absorbing Man. Just for folks that need to go back and look from the Invincible Iron Man set.
Another cool piece.
Yeah, and basically he could never be damaged unless you rolled the same number as him. The same number, like if you dealt him 6 damage.
That's what it was, yeah. I would roll dice, and if I rolled a 6, I took the damage, but anything else I didn't.
No, if you rolled a 6, you took the damage.
Yeah, that's what I said.
If you rolled a 1 through 5, you didn't.
Yeah, so that you had I don't even know what that is.
17%
chance to get hit?
Yeah, 17 to 18% chance, yeah. So, yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
So
I like that. I always liked Victor Creed too. It's like as a character. Mm-hmm. Or Victor Creel.
Creel, something like that. Yeah. Victor Creed is Sabretooth.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's just a different world now. Um,
Which is, I mean, good. Everybody complains about power creep. I don't mind it. You have to do it with every game ever that wants to keep selling stuff.
yes. Yep, 100% agree. Yeah, it's got to keep changing, and that's why I like the WWE figs that have come out.
Yeah, I do too. I didn't think I would, but they're pretty fun.
You got to continue to absorb and change your market and expand your market, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, that's probably a good segue. So we had a couple of questions of, we talked about, we want to talk about states wrap up and then modern going forward. But I think we can probably just talk about modern a little bit. And modern going forward, let's talk about, is WWE playable in modern?
I mean, is it playable or will it be played? Are two different questions.
Is it playable?
Man, I don't know. Probably. There's probably something. It's too early for me to say no, but it's probably as an ID, maybe on a mystical team. It'd be like Undertaker as an ID battery, maybe. But Undertaker just dies to like Wendigos. Obviously, Kobik is really good against all of them.
Right. Now, I think like for sure, like Undertaker can replace Black Adam on the mystical team.
Yes, just straight up, and that's an okay team. So I would say he's playable, I guess.
Right.
Just wondering if it's playable means different things to different people.
Right. So here's my thought, and I've thought about this one quite a bit. And it all comes down to what event you're going to and what is the level of player that's going to be there and what they're playing. So if you think that you're going to an event and there's not going to be any good Kobik players going, then WWE is playable.
Definitely better. Does Kobik just like absolutely? She probably does, right? Absolutely kill him.
Well, yeah, I mean, she just takes the WWE team ability away, and then they just get shot.
Right.
And then someone was saying, well, if they give them the, and here's the problem, is that if you're looking at it at face value, Kobik giving them Underworld, Power Cosmic, or something else, or Underworld or Power Cosmic is probably a good thing. But most of the time in those situations, they're going to be giving them the X-Men team ability from an X-Men call-in.
Probably.
So that's absolutely useless to them.
Yeah. I mean, even if they give them the other two, it's not like it's still really good for Kobik because you can shoot them,
Right. I mean, like Underworld's good because they can carry each other then.
Yeah, it's
like, and then Power Cosmic's not terrible, but stealing the WWE team ability
pretty huge.
Is pretty huge. So it just depends. Like, so we're talking about going to Chicago potentially in a couple weeks. And like for anyone going to that or, the Lexington regional, it's like, is there going to be a good team? Is there going to be a good player playing Kobik at those events? I'm going to assume probably yes. But realistically, if there's not going to be a good player playing Kobik, Kobik Trader at an event, then you can probably just play an OMA and be fine. Because I think OMA is better than WWE.
Better. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Well, what do you mean, like a full WWE team?
Or no. Like I don't know, just like the Undertaker on the Mystical team.
Mm-hmm. You think OMA is just better than that if there's no Kobik?
Yeah. Like, I mean, I think it's like, It's like your teams are like uni. Because you got to remember, we had an errata or a watch list come and go with no real change to any of those teams.
Right.
Except Jakeem got worse. I'm just kidding, because that's what happened to the previous watch list.
Yeah.
So I mean, Kobik Trader's still good, you know. Kobik by herself or with the other cosmic good stuff. You know, Isaac's World's team, the Gardner Trader stuff. Unseen, that's all still good. That can all beat OMA. Uni Lockjaw, your Whales team, the Tri-Sentinel Swarm team of LTVHs. I mean, those things are all still good and have really good OMA matchups. And realistically, they probably have good single-figure WWE matchups. And then on top of that, right, like Gardner's still a thing, right? So Gardner doesn't care about the WWE team ability.
That's true, yeah. How does Gardner do again? Well, normally it's Gardner with Kobik, right? Is that the normal team?
No, Gardner Trader.
Yeah, Gardner, but then Kobik, right?
No, I mean, like Isaac's team was Q Prime, Trey Lane, Trader, Gardner, Trey Lane, Astronomer, Q Prime.
Okay.
With a Groot.
Yeah, and that's, yeah.
I mean, so, and I don't even think he played the Nightbringer ring. He may have played the Nightbringer ring. I don't remember.
I don't understand why some people don't play it. It just doesn't make sense to me. And I don't think Dustin played it, did he?
Played what?
The Nightbringer ring.
Yeah, Dustin did. So all three of so the three Clicksmen that made top 16 all played the same team with Mangog and Gardner, Trader, Unseen, Nightbringer.
Okay.
So, yeah, I mean the Gardner Nightbringer trick is, you know, pretty much takes out WWE figures to some extent.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, because you can make the attack. Well, it says close attacks, right? Not adjacent.
No, WWE is only protected from range attacks.
Okay, yeah, so Kobik still, or I mean, Trader can still. What's
Gardner?
Gardner. Yeah, Gardner can still hit him.
Yeah. The flower guy.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So that's good. But I would say they're playable. They're probably not top tier.
Yeah, I mean they're right there, depending on and there's always that caveat, like, oh, WWE goes and wins an event, and it's like.
Yeah, that doesn't necessarily prove anything.
Right. It just all depends on what were the other teams there, what were your other players there, you know. Like if Dustin goes and wins with WWE in Texas, well then I would say, yeah, that makes sense because he's probably the best Gardner player in Texas, except for his buddy that got second at Worlds and beat him.
Or if like PJ plays a WWE team and wins a win a map, maybe it's not. Yeah.
Exactly right. You know, good players can make worse teams better, and then certainly good players playing good teams is a almost unbeatable combination. Almost clearly. So I mean that's like kind of what the calculus comes down to for me when I start adding all those factors together. Is that so that, you know, WWE is not completely unplayable, but if you're going to like a big event and like Kobik Trader should be there and a good Kobik Trader player should be there, then you probably shouldn't play your WWE figures.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because most of them they can usually take 7 damage to the face, but still you're going to knock them down pretty far with the Cyclops.
Yeah, they also don't have like the best dials deep like late.
Right.
I mean, they're ID batteries still, but you also knock them off their first clicks, and they're not as good because they lose like the protected stuff.
Right. Yeah, I mean, and you can look at their dials now to know to not hit them to not hit them back onto their blue clicks for the next turn.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and that's been my general complaint about WWE throughout states and now is that they're not that good defensively.
Yeah, without the especially. Yeah, I would agree with that. Like
Yeah, I mean,
stats and powers.
yeah, I mean, because I'm sure you can equip them with a symbiote, right? But like I'll just make a simple comparison, and I get that they're not. It's kind of a Jonathan Apple to a Red Delicious Apple comparison. So you just take Undertaker that has 18 invuln at 100 points, okay, and then so you take. Well, I mean, I'll make a better comparison. You just take Kobik at 115 points. And let's just say that Kobik takes the orange cube, which is totally a thing, right? You can totally play a more defensive matchup.
Mm-hmm.
So you would have to play a symbiote on the Undertaker. And then, so he's got shape change and 18 and invuln. For 104 points, just spitballing here.
Right.
So Kobik for 115 points can have shape change, super senses, and a 21 defense.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just and that in this scenario, I'm assuming that they don't give you the defense power.
Yeah, because if they do, then it's just shape change, super senses, impervious, 21.
Or invulnerability, 20 defense, right? Or I'm sorry, invincible. But then they get another defensive power, like they can pick stealth, right? So they get stealth, 21, shape change, super senses.
Yeah. The main thing they have going for them is long dials, but I don't unless
it's not really that particularly long. Whenever we have two Wolverines that can do flurry.
Right. Yeah. I know. That's what I'm saying. It's not enough to deter anything. Because unless there's like a team that doesn't get a lot of attacks for whatever reason, like I don't even know what team. One man armies don't care, so I don't know.
I mean, one man. I mean, like OMA Uni just goes to a 21 defense and like mind controls the first one that he can get adjacent to.
Right. Yeah.
But I mean, and they're good attackers, but you can't attack. You still can't attack with your main force figures. Mm-hmm. I mean, you do because Wales.
Yeah.
Because you have other threats, right?
Right.
You're backing up your ability to attack and to retail with 5 other retails. Or whatever.
It's nice.
Yeah, but I'm talking about for most other teams, right? Like you just can't go outright and attack with your main force figures.
Right.
Because there's going to be a Groot or a Mangog or something that's going to come wreck I mean, like Mangog wrecks WWE figures.
Yeah, that's that's true.
I mean, 7 damage to the face into the face of toughness is not a good thing.
Yeah, I agree with that. I guess.
I mean that's kind of my problem with the WWE figures is they're just too weak defensively. Like the range protection is just not enough.
Yeah, probably, which is sad.
I mean, like, and even after retirement next year, right? We're still going to have Wanted Poster Wolverine and Fast Forces Wolverine to go.
Yeah, I mean, basically, and I said this before, is that the only possibility is just them as a call-in battery, but they're just better call-in batteries, right?
Yes.
It's like. I don't know, maybe Eddie makes it as like a 55-point character because he's 55 points on his lower dial.
50.
50. So that could be good as like a flex spot because he does take 3 attacks to kill. He's got support powers. He has damage output. That would probably be the closest one to me, but it would be on a weird team that I can't really picture.
Well, I mean, he doesn't take 3 attacks to kill necessarily.
He does.
And well, hold on, and I'll explain. In that so I experienced this in States. So I watched several people play Eddie, and his healing is after resolutions. So like Eddie dies to another Eddie.
Yeah, just a flurry.
Yeah,
Sure.
so flurry or knockback, or like just any of the after resolutions effects.
Which are
Like
tough to do.
like Wendigo eats Eddie. Like a
Mhm.
single 15-point Wendigo can eat Eddie alive.
I like
Um,
Wendigo.
yeah, it's so I'll share a casual story.
Mhm.
So last weekend I went to Jeremiah Peterson. He wasn't there this week, but I went to their venue game night up in Huntingburg. And they had their big zombie game, so it was like, I don't know, like 2,000 points of.
Yeah, I saw the post.
Yeah, so I had played Hulk Korath and won the day by 3 clicks of damage because Hulk finally crit missed. But one of the guys was playing a Wendigo, and I was like, "Sweet, you're going to make 4 attacks this turn," and he's like, "What?" I'm like, "Yeah," and I explained how he did 4 attacks.
Yeah.
And he was like, "I don't believe you." And I'm like, "Yeah, just read the card." And so he had ended up wounding some of the figures. And I'm like, "Well, if you can't get there with your charge flurry, then just run up there, walk up there, make your wounded token attack, then sidestep, make your other attack."
Mhm.
And he was like, "What the heck?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Yeah, there's a reason I have 18 of these things right now."
Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous for 15
Now,
minutes.
now, I don't think that 18 is needed. Probably, I want.
Probably not.
It feels like probably 3 to 5 is the sweet spot.
Mhm.
But yeah, so um, I don't know, I digress a little bit there, but the 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 Wendigo stuff is just crazy, and they're all close combat, right? So like
Right.
one
Wendigo is a
Wendigo.
big problem.
Wendigo is a big problem for those guys, right?
Yep.
Because not only like John Cena has combat reflexes, top dial.
Maybe does Rhonda have it? Maybe.
Oh gosh, we got to talk about at least the ones that are good.
Okay, you're right.
Rhonda has senses.
Oh, okay.
But, I mean, I get it. That's only one rollout though on an 18.
But yeah, it's something.
Yeah, it's a thing, but it's not a thing. I don't know. So that's where I feel about WWE going
Yep.
into
Basically good, not great. They probably won't be on any of the 1A teams.
Yeah, and they probably won't. They probably won't. They can probably make top 4.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if someone wins with them, but it does that, there's a lot of events now. It doesn't necessarily mean they're like, I don't know
Yeah, I
how
mean,
to.
I could see him winning a WKO or win a map or even a small qualifier, but I would be hard pressed to say like 2020 Nats WWE
Yeah.
wrecking stuff.
Yeah, the best ones are just they're tier 2 pieces, which make it to teams sometimes.
Now, I want to go ahead and add in a caveat.
Hmm.
They are fun as shit.
They are. I agree with that.
They are the absolute. I only got to play in one states, and I lost in a mirror match in top 4 with Onslaught, Undertaker, Mudman, Proteus, Dr. Frank. But I got to crit hit Tombstone Pile Driver, another Undertaker straight to hell, and it was absolutely fun. Now, as far as like folks saying, "Well, hey, do you have fun with HeroClix?" Yes, I absolutely had fun playing Pauper States and tombstoning the fuck out of somebody.
Yeah, and like that's like I'm not a huge wrestling fan, obviously, but yeah, just whenever I get to play with them, it is really fun. It meshes well. It's like hijinks ensue, and it is a good time. So I'm a full fan of them.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Just some of the sentences you get to say, like
Yeah, exactly.
put Surtur into a submission hold. You can't read till next turn. Sorry.
You can.
Oh yeah, you can. I forgot.
Yeah.
Mobile. Yeah, you
Yeah.
can. Yeah, you can. You're right. Never mind.
Yeah. You can activate anything.
Yep.
So, that's important because this was brought up again on one of the Facebook groups tonight.
Oh yeah.
Um, so I'll go ahead and do our PSA for today. Let me make a little do click stuff PSA.
Scrolling on that
Um, you're allowed to activate any action
one. Yeah,
that
at
you
any
want.
time, you can activate any power at any time as long as like you have the action tokens if it's a power or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. You can't just activate something illegally, but if you can activate a free action, you can activate it. So like in the case of WWE, you can activate submission hold and immobile somebody and immobile yourself, but you just don't get to deal the damage.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone's caught up on, well, it says if you haven't been moved or placed. I know, but that's a check after you've activated the free action. Then the second half of the submission hold sentence is both characters gain immobile.
I've actually been told differently on that one.
No. Why?
Because you can activate it, but the the immobilizing another target.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, you just immobilize yourself. Sorry.
Yeah, you immobilize yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, that's my
Which
bad.
is still useful. Free action to immobilize yourself is good, right?
Well, especially in like a mind control heavy.
Yep. Mind control, no knockbacks, no other things. It's just it's good.
Right. So, you're right. You don't get to immobilize the target. So again, I would say as a reminder, you can also walk up Surtur, deal activate retail with no target, and then deal the pin damage. Same thing with Tri Sentinel, and a few others that we covered on the last episode. So um, keep that in mind. Um,
Yeah, because I'm gonna be doing it. So.
yeah, yeah. It's okay. I want to Asgard Storm your entire team first.
Yeah, probably.
I miss a time though. There used to be a time when Energy Explosion and Pulse Wave worked together.
Yes, right? Because it would just be like if you plot a pulse wave range of 5, but someone was 6 away, but there was someone next to him, right? Is that the only way you could do it?
Yeah.
Good times.
Yeah, that was a good time. So, um, yeah. So, I mean, so you got to play in one states?
Yep, and I did not do well. I think I went 2-2 because it was a 4 and I missed cut. No, I went 1-3. I did not play that well. I don't. But I liked my team. It was basically Pauper seemed like everybody just pulled a really good sealed team. That's what it felt like to me. Because my team
Yeah.
could be pulled and sealed outside the boxing ring or WWE ring, which I didn't really use that much.
What'd you play?
Played 200-point Juggernaut, 50-point Danger Room Magneto, and then Amelia Vaught for 45,
Okay.
and then the ring.
Okay. Yeah, we had played that team on our YouTube channel.
Mm-hmm. It was fun. I mean, I didn't really play it that well, but it was strong. It was it was a good time.
Yeah, I mean, I thought about the team I played, and I had lost in the mirror match in Swiss, and in top 4 on mine. Yeah, to me, it was like the calculus. There wasn't a lot of calculus going on. It was, I know your reach, you know my reach. You have a retail, I don't have a retail.
Yeah, it was. I feel like it came more down to dice than
Yes.
clicks because of what you said. Like, you're gonna hit me first. That's gonna happen. If you hit, right, then we'll go from there. If you miss, then I get a chance. If I'm. It felt like that a lot of that going on,
Yes.
which isn't necessarily bad.
Yeah.
Just
And I
sort of
would
simplified.
say this: retail is extremely overpowered in Pauper.
Is it? I actually never played anybody with a retail.
I think that was probably the wrong idea on their end.
Maybe.
I mean, I saw plenty of teams that won without it, but like I think if I had to do it all over again, I probably would have done Onslaught, the 2 Danger Room guys, a Perplex or 2, and like all of the retails that were legal for the format.
Which was what? Both Giant Girls.
And Proteus. I mean, I probably only have enough room for both Giant Girls and Proteus.
Oh, okay. What's the other? Phoenix is illegal.
Phoenix and then Jakar.
Oh yeah, no, I didn't see any Jakars. I'm disappointed.
I am disappointed that I didn't see any Jakars.
It's because there's no other good cosmic pieces, and everyone's playing Theme Team.
Yeah. I think that was the only one. Yeah, I saw a lot of terrains, though, like Doom Buggies and stuff. That was big.
I hate Dune Buggy.
Yeah, it's annoying.
It is. Yeah, it was fun. I liked it. I enjoyed it more than I thought I was going to, and it got a lot of turnout. The turnout was really good compared to last year's states.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I don't know why we wouldn't do it again. It's going to happen again next year.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's fun once a year.
Yeah, I don't mind it. It's pretty fun.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I would, and that's about it.
And certainly congrats to all of the winners for their efforts and strategery on the routes to winning their events. So a lot of our friends of the show won their states, and we're super happy and proud of all of them. So Sam Powell writes in, do you think the Pauper format should ban the use of 2x2 base figures?
I may be biased. I like 2x2s.
Yeah, I like 2x2s.
I don't think that they need a. I'm not sure. Onslaught's obviously really strong, right? Juggernaut's good.
I mean, I think this is probably where and Giant Girls are good. Here's where I go. I might be poo-pooing a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I think that Pauper should go back away from Highlander. I think it should just go back to normal.
Ooh, that's dangerous.
Well, the problem is that I think they made too knee-jerk of a reaction when it came to Medusa, and didn't let the meta adjust on over enough events. Like literally, Medusa came out for a month, and then they said, "Okay, we're going to ban it." And I would use a month loosely. It could have been more like 7, 8 weeks or something that. Yeah. It was not very long, and everyone was like, "Oh, nope, we're going to ban Medusa." And it's like you didn't even let the next set come out.
That's true. Do you think it wouldn't be the strongest set? The strongest? You don't think it'd be a problem?
No, because I think there's things like an example of what you played. Like I think Juggernaut just comes up and like quakes the entire group of Medusas like quite easily.
Yeah.
Because the reach was so in Pauper, the reach was always a problem with Medusa. So you had to map flex and move up a little bit before you could reach the entire map. So there's other teams that can reach back during that first little move up.
Does Medusa does Juggernaut outrange Medusa?
Well, so whenever Medusa moves up a little bit, I think that the Juggernaut can get there.
Well, like it just depends on who has more range, right?
Yeah. But then again, like so on the other hand, like the unthemed Alpha Strike team, like I don't think that anything. Well, Fast Forces was allowed, so that allowed the Hulk, the new Sidestep and Orville gal. Like Dustin didn't play that part of it, but like he played Stick, Duke Thomas, Medusa, Foot Elite, and I think that was it. And huh?
That's a pretty cool team. I didn't actually hear about this team.
Yeah. So like, it was like dealing out like 13s for 5s, 14s for 5s, and that team had the reach to go reach Medusa back. So I don't know. I just don't think the meta, they allowed to have the meta time to adjust correctly.
That's possible.
I don't know. I just feel like it would be better that way. I mean, I'd like to play multiple Proteuses,
I don't like the idea of a bunch of giant girls.
But they're getting ready to retire by next states.
That's true. I mean,
so it's really only a problem if they only do it for the second half of states next year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they might revisit it.
Yeah. So, I think, and I think we talked a little bit about this earlier. McConnell Lamar wanted to ask, would allowing rares in Golden Age into Highlander Pauper be good or bad for the format? Allowing Golden Age would be bad unless WizKids went back and rewrote all the cards.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I don't want. I just don't want to deal with Golden Age. It's too much. Especially there's some crazy stuff back there now.
Yeah, I mean, and allowing rares. I mean, come on. It's like it's either it's Pauper or it's not.
I've heard the idea of allowing one rare, but I don't like that either.
Yeah, I mean, to me, here's the thing: is Pauper is accessible, not balanced.
Well,
300
try to balance it, right?
Well, no. Here's the thing: 300 modern is quote unquote not accessible for everyone, and it's not balanced either.
I mean, it's maybe not perfectly, but you try, right?
Well, yeah, because you allow the meta time to soak before you go change the entire format. Mm-hmm. So, Jason. If Jason was on here, I would say Jason would say, "You just don't like Pauper." Well, I don't.
It might be fair.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Tylor and I particularly care for it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we like things that are super rares and chases on our teams.
I do.
I have fun playing a bunch of Wendigos.
Yeah, and people like whenever. Like my favorite characters, other people are like, man, I hope this guy's a common so I can get him. No, I hope my favorite character is a chase. I want him to be as cool as shit. Like, I want to be way up there. I want him to be super meta. I want to be able to play him,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So
exactly.
I see like a Captain Marvel or Shazam as a chase or super Juggernaut or something. It's good.
Yeah,
Spider-Man.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, same thing with Iron Man, right? Like the Iron Man with the gauntlet. Iron Man with the gauntlet is way cooler than the 90-point hypersonic one.
Yeah.
From ABPI.
Yeah.
So, let's see. What other Pauper questions did we get? No, I don't think so. Lots of other things.
Yeah. Basically, on Pauper, it was obviously a very big success. There was a lot more attendance in the previous round. It seemed like everybody had fun. There wasn't any real downsides to it. There's no I haven't seen any complaining on the internet about it, which seems positive.
The complaints is everybody played Avengers and Onslaught.
Oh yeah, I heard that, but I don't even think that's true. There was probably 5 or 6 teams.
I think
the first wave.
I think there was. I think your highest percentage was WWE Onslaught based teams, and then a smaller percentage was WWE themed.
Yeah, and there was some Avengers too.
That's what I'm saying. Avengers, Monsters. WWE.
Yes, and then like obviously there was a few unthemed teams too.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Let me correct that. Avengers Onslaught based
Mm-hmm.
WWE.
What about Dustin's team?
They didn't win.
Oh, he didn't win. Who beat him?
Tommy.
Oh. Oh, and
Right.
your guy. Yeah, okay, and okay.
And then he didn't make top 4 in Tennessee when he played.
Tommy or who?
Dustin.
Dustin.
Yeah, Dustin went 2-2 the next week
Oh.
because he was up here for work. For those wondering why Dustin was not in Texas,
Oh.
he was up here for work, and he played in Kentucky and lost in the finals to Tommy. And then in Tennessee, I beat him round 2 or 3, and then he lost another round to the same team, Onslaught, Proteus, Undertaker, etc.
They just didn't have like the offense to get through it.
No, the problem is that I don't know what the other guy did,
Mm-hmm.
but I took Dustin's unthemed Alpha Strike team to the Galador Promenade, so he couldn't place his WWE ring.
Yeah.
And I killed. He did well, and I also had the benefit of watching him the week before, so I was kind of prepped as the game plan at least. So he would take Bolt up one side of the map carrying Hulk, and then he would take the other Green Lantern up the other side of the map.
Mm-hmm.
So what I was able to do was I moved Undertaker out and then outwitted Bolt super senses, so made sure that I hit.
Mm-hmm.
And then I mind controlled Bolt, Hulk, and Duke Thomas.
I like that.
And so Bolt carried Hulk, and then Bolt happened to roll an 11 and hit Stick.
Mm-hmm.
But that was really immaterial. But then
Right.
I dropped Hulk down, and then Hulk went like 15 for 5 on the Green Lantern, which just absolutely obliterates him off the map.
Yeah.
And then so
Also,
he was on Galador Promenade. So
yeah.
I stayed on my half of the mountain and just continued to mind control his team to kill each other.
Yeah. Well, it sounds fun. That is a good PSA. A lot of people don't know that you can, if you mind control 2 people, they can carry each other. So
Yeah, a flyer can carry the non-flyer. Yeah.
and then they can act after that. So like if for instance he could mind control Bolt and Hulk, he would move Bolt, make the attack, then he could move with Hulk and make the attack after being carried.
Correct.
Realize that, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, the only thing I had left in that game was Onslaught, but he was full health.
Man, Onslaught is so good.
Yeah.
He is.
So I mean, I only lost in the mirror match, and it was just dice rolls. Like the top 4 game was like, I TK'd a heavy at your Dr. Frank. You TK a heavy at my Dr. Frank. Oh,
Yeah.
your Proteus hit my Proteus. My Proteus didn't roll shape change, or didn't, it got hit. I wouldn't say it didn't roll shape change because it had Battle Fury.
Yeah.
Or my Proteus missed. Okay, now you kill my Proteus.
Yeah.
Now I do a thing, and I'm like, oh boy.
Yeah, it's definitely more. Yeah, it's more dice, I would say, just because there's less things that you can control, I guess.
Right. So so John Morley did ask about Kobik's existence making WWE nigh unplayable and competitive, and John won Minnesota State. So congrats, John.
Yeah. Even if you have like a horrible matchup, it's not unplayable. It's definitely something you have to consider that you might just lose to somebody. But right, like Adam Friedman just won a qualifier with full uni just because there's nobody playing Kobik. So just because it's a bad matchup doesn't mean it's with smaller turnouts you're not guaranteed to see the matchup.
Right. Exactly. All right, so let's talk about Modern a little bit more. Brian Graves. I guess let me actually ask this. Is there anything else you want to talk about on Popper, Tyler?
Nope, just success. I would say it was
Yeah,
fun. It was a fun weekend.
it was great. I had a great time with everyone. So, and congrats again to all of the winners. Brian Graves says, "Does grand entrance with the WWE characters make any equipment that can be destroyed?" Now, let's be clear. All equipment can be destroyed now.
Yep.
Unplayable in Modern. Can't you just use it and call in Cyclops to shoot the equipment?
You can already do that.
Yeah, so you can already do that with a TK. Grand entrance just makes it a little bit better pacing-wise.
I don't even think you need a TK. I think if you have sidestep, you can reach with Cyclops turn 1. I'm pretty sure.
It depends on the amount of perplexes and stuff that you have.
No, I don't even think you need a perplex. You sidestep up, call him in square 5. He running shots 4 to square 9, shoots to square 17. That should be plenty.
Well, if you're playing on one of the 2x2 maps.
Yeah,
the 4x4 or whatever maps.
No, just a standard map.
Well, you're into you call him out into 3. He running shots to 8, and
no,
only shoots
I'm
to
saying
16.
you need sidestep.
Oh yeah,
so you call him in square 5.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure you can do that. But yeah, I don't. If it was a problem for your team, honestly, if it was a problem for your team already, this isn't gonna change it.
Yeah. So what I want to say is, Jean Grey free TKs or power TKs any object into oblivion.
Mm-hmm.
Or a Phoenix call in, the blue Phoenix call in. Blue Phoenix might even be the best way to do it. I don't know. Jean's certainly more useful in other matchups, but Blue Phoenix at 25 points with 10 range and a 2x2 just nuclear obliterates them.
Onslaught can do them himself for free.
Yeah, Onslaught does have to get a little bit closer.
Yeah, I mean he has 9 range.
Yeah,
it's not super bad, and he can't be shot outside of 5.
Right.
So it was already an issue. You shouldn't be relying on theme or on an object unless you have at least a +7. That would be my bare minimum for relying. I still wouldn't feel comfortable with it either.
Yeah, and I mean that's the reason I switched back to the Venom symbiote on Uni.
Yep.
Is that, I mean, sure, they can just do it with the Cyclops instead of doing it with a Jean. Mm-hmm. But if their team's able to do it with the Cyclops, it's able to do it with something else.
Right.
So, like, it only probably makes it a little bit weaker. Not really.
No, I don't think it affects it.
Yeah, so I mean that's the reason Uni 5.0 went back to the Venom symbiote as opposed to the remaker. So I would say that Grand Entrance in general allows you another way to do it.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I mean you don't have to Grand Entrance in the full movement. You can just Grand Entrance in 2 or 3 or whatever your team needs it to. So, yeah, I mean, it's a little disappointing. I mean, I think all this stuff that we're talking about with retail and activating actions, I think it's just got to get fixed at some point.
Wait, what?
Just the being able to activate any action.
Oh, sure. Yeah. It's just even if there's no balancing issues, there's just like you want your game to feel good to play, and that doesn't feel good. Doesn't feel like that should work like that. You know what I mean?
Right.
So yeah, I agree with you.
Exactly. So yeah, like I'd much rather to see them fit. And it's not even an issue necessarily with the free action. It's an action. It's a problem. I think whenever they changed the rules in the Batman release because of how action tokens were applied. Now don't quote me on that. That's just my thought. I'm obviously not a scholar of this. Almost, but I do more practical application, not the science behind it.
Got it. You're an experimental physicist, not a theoretical physicist.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, that's got to be fixed at some point.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So Andrew Fairweather writes in, why isn't Iceman a useful retaliator? I mean, he is.
Yeah.
I think his 15 point line is a problem because of indifference. He's definitely better at 100.
As a call-in, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's definitely better as a call-in as 100. He's good. Basically, on retails, generally they're not used on non-theme. They're normally used to fluff theme as well as the retail. So we'll have to wait for a good X-Men team, which I think are out there. We just haven't played Modern since that set came out. But I think he'll see a lot of play as fluff for an X-Men team whenever that happens. Right? You could see pumping that up. So he's a solid, and he's a great call-in. I've seen him I got destroyed. When I was playing J Major, he made like 8 attacks on a call-in. He killed a whale. He killed like 2 of my Wendigos. He got the other whale to like stop or something. It was crazy. He just kept going, dude.
Was this on the
qualifier that night?
Oh yeah, with the 100-point Black Adam.
Yeah. Yep. But he called him in at 15, and he still destroyed me.
Well, he can't attack your Wendigos.
Well, he retailed on a Wendigo,
Okay.
which activated the charge thing because it's after resolution. So he charged a whale. Then it was still after resolution, so he free in-capped my other Wendigo to kill him. Activated charge again because he killed something to hit a whale to kill it. Then he charged because he hadn't given a costed action yet to my other whale, I think, or something like that. It was like a bunch of crazy stuff like that.
But great. You ended up still beating him?
Yeah, I did, but I got nervous after that turn.
You're like, I still beat him, but he did all kinds of cool stuff.
It was pretty crazy, dude. Yeah. But yeah, I think he's a good caller.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
John Eric Hefford, Dr. Finn gives you some Booger Yaffet's love. Welcome to the Meta Orville.
Okay, well, is that the Pog thing?
Yeah, the Pog lady, yeah.
I mean, she is really good.
She is good. I think that's just more of a statement than a question.
I agree with that statement, sir.
Well, he clarified it again in another comment. Oh. How about a meta shout out to Dr. Finn for giving us Yaffet the sidestep giving booger?
Yes, sure.
Yeah.
I agree.
Shout out. So I'm just working through some of these questions in the kind of a thought process flow. Mm-hmm. So the Brandon Chastain, how many dedicated pulse wave call-ins should exist on your sideline?
Just depends on the team. My team doesn't have any.
You could have Iceman though.
I could, yeah.
Yeah.
It might be a good idea. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it just depends. I think any team that can play Asgard Storm should play Asgard Storm.
Probably true. She's really good. Yeah.
I mean, man, her just energy explosion's good. Her pulse wave's good. She comes out with leadership. Yeah, she's fantastic. I just absolutely love the Asgard Storm. And the problem is that we haven't had a lot of events recently. True. And the meta is going to stay pretty much static until February.
Mostly, yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, Asgard Storm comes out 11 for 4 with Pulse Wave, and it's just crazy good. Then Phoenix Storm blows up blocking. It's just crazy.
11 for 4 Pulse Wave Energy Explosion.
Yeah. Well, two things that don't work together.
But you could use the other one.
Yeah, it's the thing is, it's just that they can't be reduced below 1 is crazy. Is what makes it so good. So,
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Storm, it definitely, and then the problem is that in general, you need at least one because of Q Prime.
Or another way to guarantee deal with him.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like a chamber works.
Well, not you. Oh, I think it's just exclusive with Mojo because they're not going to let you chamber their dude.
Like, what do you mean?
Like they're not going to let you chamber a. They're not going to let you call in poison on a Q Prime unless they're just like misplayed or really far behind that they have to let you do it. So I think that chamber argument only applies with.
So what's your way to deal with Q Prime with monsters then?
Well, I have a Mojo. That's what I'm saying. You need a Mojo because I can place him next to him and then call out the Q Prime, so they can't stop me from doing it. Basically.
But they can, right? They should be able to.
How?
Just body block him completely.
Maybe you can body block him completely. It'd be hard. Then they would be completely grouped up against my my Harley calling then. So it's bad either way.
Yeah, but Harley should be able to. Yeah, I'm with you. So I'm thinking in general, Jubilee.
What about it?
The Fast Forces Jubilee.
Oh yeah, I forgot about her. Yeah, she's cool. Was she 35 points?
She's 35 points with 2 range pulse wave, 4 range normal, 2 range pulse wave.
Yeah, that's really good.
So, that might be an inclusion on your monster team to think about.
Jubilee, maybe. Yeah, I mean, and if I play her, the little lady could call her in, or the little Surtur can call her in at 25 if I want to.
Yes, if you want to play her at a low dial. Mm-hmm. I can't ever imagine you would, but.
Yeah, she's obviously good.
Yeah, the 35.1 is fantastic. A whale can call her in.
True. That's always nice to have another call in for whales. I think I only have one right now, which is sad.
Yeah. Let's see here. Just scroll back up. Sam, Brian, Nate. So, Nate wants to know how many of us are going to go to Chicago on the 7th.
At least one.
Well, and again, you can't say that for for sure.
All right, ruling out a blizzard.
Ruling out a blizzard. You plan on being there, and if Jason can get approval to go, I'm gonna go, I guess.
Yeah, woo! I mean, there's gonna be a lot of people there. He wants to get 30, so.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stump for Nate. You guys should all go to that thing if you can. There's a lot of prizing. It's gonna be a hoot and a half.
But it's just Rock Regional prizing, and then he's giving out what extra?
I think a case. He's giving out
a case to last place, right?
To top as well. He's giving out a case of Legacy to last place.
Yeah, I did see the case of Legacy to last place.
Which Legacy, that was a good set. That was Superman. That was game changing.
I'm gonna see here. Chicago Click Championship. No, it doesn't say. See discussion. Pricing. Oh gosh, I just realized all these pictures that Nate made.
Yeah, I remember those.
Sorry, this is me being totally distracted right now. He made one of you.
He did.
As international male. Okay. Door prizes, the championship belt, a case for the winner, a case for last place, Rock Regional stuff. So.
Said the champion belt was pretty cool.
Yeah, he's posted a picture of the champion.
Oh, he did? Dang it.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean it's going to be good prizing.
Mm-hmm.
Now the problem is my only holdback is that it's December in Chicago, so be prepped vehicular wise to get in and out of the city if you need to be.
Fair.
So we've got that, and then we've probably just got some random regionals in January until WKO's in February,
Yeah,
and the launch of Captain America then.
Yeah, which I'm not that excited about that. It's just more Captain America.
Yeah,
Woohoo.
I'm not excited about it yet.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, if there's some meta, I'll be excited.
Yeah, so there's a regional in Chicago, and in January they don't have the regional up yet, so.
That's going to be in Lexington.
Yeah, supposedly, yeah. Allegedly.
Yep.
Let's see, and our last question comes. We got two more questions. Jesse Cote, any underrated outdoor maps that the public should be looking at?
I don't know. This is a Dan question. I don't pay attention to maps. I know I should, but I don't.
Yeah, I mean, I think I covered that pretty much in the Popper episode, because all of that applies to modern. So all of your outdoor maps that I talked about for Against Juggernaut, Jesse. Those are pretty much all your good outdoor maps. Now I can't think of one that's necessarily like underrated right now, because in general, probably like Strange Day at the Park is just as good as the rest of them. Depending on if you're playing a rock event. Like, I would just say keep in mind that if you're playing at a rock event, the rock has additional maps that are currently still legal that WizKids do not.
You're supposed to say Mr. Swamp's Chomp. Mr. Chomp Swamp.
Mr. Chomp Swamp, yeah. I mean...
solid, all around.
Yeah, Pal Farm.
Yep.
But, I mean, all of those maps are pretty much the same, right? I mean, like, I would say they're a little bit better than Amok Time, and there's some benefit to say that some of those being an outdoor map's a little bit better than say Sporting Arena in some minor instances, because Sporting Arena is indoor, but I mean, it really comes down to your team, right? Is if your team doesn't like hindering but wants outdoor open, then you're probably looking at like Strange Day at the Park or like Amok Time.
Yeah, either one of those is fine.
Yeah.
Amok Time can be, if you want it for like a one-man army, Amok Time's not the way to go, because they can do that whole trick thing with the terrain and those little alcove things. It gets annoying.
Yeah, they can. And Jay Solomon, what is your favorite underrated fringe Nate White figure right now?
Me first.
Sure.
I like, and I mean she's not like super underrated, I guess, because she's been played a lot. But I like Shade. She's gotten a lot better with all the call-ins and stuff. Like, if you put like 2 or 3 of them to Spook mode, basically if she ever can call in a Dark Phoenix and on your enemy side of the map,
she can't call in Dark Phoenix. You can't call in Dark Phoenix.
Ah, dang it, you're right. I forgot about that. Well, there's still a lot of stuff you can do. Iceman on their back line, that seems good.
She can also call in Phoenix or Jubilee or Beast.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. Aren't there other call-ins? Magneto, that's a good one too. The 25-point one. He can do a lot if he's up in your face already.
Yep.
You got one?
No, because it's not a Nate White figure, because Nate White is currently Black Hat. So
you're right.
There is no such thing as a Nate White figure. So, Unimind, Wendigos, Tri-Sentinels.
That's a Nate White figure, you're right.
Whales, Q Prime.
I like that.
Surtur. No, I mean it's so hard to say that something's underrated because the again the gatekeeper teams are still so strong, right? Uni, Monster, Q Prime, Gardner, Kobik, right? Like
Mhm.
that's a pretty good wall of figure to get through, right?
Yeah.
Like if you're talking about sneaking into the Helm's Deep, right? You know, those are pretty good. Those are pretty good guys manning the Archer towers.
Yeah. That's fair.
And that's not even counting like tier 1.25 of like Black Adam and you know all of
Yeah.
those good guys. So someone mentioned like Ensign Crusher, and I'm like,
He's good.
yeah. I mean,
But,
in modern, like you just can't have something that just bleeds points necessarily.
well, I mean, Instant Crusher's good on he's good on Vulture basically. Like you'll play him on Vulture too.
No,
Probably.
no, Ensign Crusher is different than Wesley Crusher.
What's Instant Crusher do?
He allows you to re-roll shape change. Yeah,
Oh,
super senses are or leadership, I think.
that seems cool. Oh, isn't it?
Yeah, so he's the one that has a stop click if you play him at 50. Shape change allows you to re-roll shape change, and super senses are
Oh yeah,
impervious.
he's the one that I was gonna play with Red Skull. Still gonna make that team.
You want to play him with Red Skull?
hmm The 200 point chase.
What?
Because when he hits leadership, he can mind control anybody on the map.
Oh my gosh.
I'm telling you, that guy, I have not forgot about him. He's still really good.
So wait a minute. Your underrated figure currently
Yes,
is
that's
Chase
absolutely
Red Skull.
100%. Let's go. Probably to play
Okay.
him the blue cube, probably.
Yes, you have to play him with the blue cube. And then Ensign Crusher, there's your 215 points a team.
Dude, man, if you could play him with the orange skull, I would be playing him so much. I love that piece.
Wait a minute, it's not even themed.
No, it wouldn't be themed. He doesn't have good keywords.
Oh. I thought it was at least like scientist or something.
No, he really doesn't have the best keywords.
Oh. Well, now I'm even a little more disappointed.
Well,
Yeah, I don't know. I guess a 20 defense with leadership and flex is pretty good, though.
He just does so much. It's crazy. He's got like a retail thing. He can mind control anybody on the map. They can kill Wendigos. He can kill backlines. It just seems good to me.
I'm pretty sure whales just come up and quake him, though.
If they can hit.
Yeah, he doesn't have any rollouts, though.
No, not no, he doesn't.
I mean, until he gets imperv, but
Yeah, but then you're hit.
Then you're gonna shoot him with a Cyclops.
Yeah.
All right. You know what? I will just ditto your Red Skull.
Right.
Red Skull, Ensign Crusher, underrated team, 225 points. Let's go.
That's right. I like it.
I don't know if I do. Let's see. I think we answered all of the questions, and so what I am excited is that over these next few Winamaps and regionals is that we get a real good taste of X-Men XDPS meta. So we didn't see a lot of it at Rock Cup, and we only saw a small portion of it in Pauper.
Not even, barely. There's probably a tier 1 X-Men team out there.
Yeah, I mean, like everyone's saying it's the return of the Blackbird.
What it could be. They could fit.
Man, I just
No.
I want it to be, but like theme versus theme is really hard. Like even if I was to say that like Wales and Uni are like 1.1, and like Kobik and Astronomer, or Kobik and Trader and stuff, and Astronomer are like tier 1. They're like 7s and 8s.
Wait, what do you mean? Oh, for a theme?
Yeah. So I mean, like, okay, so it's like that's just dice on dice. So if those teams get to go first, they call out something big and like mind control the entire team or something, right? Because mind control is still one of the biggest X-Men weaknesses.
Maybe. I just don't know what the X-Men teams look like right now.
Yeah, I mean, so me or you aren't really X-Men team builders, nor would I ever really. So I'm not building a Blackbird team currently, other than say a shell. So someone's going to have to like prove to me that like Blackbird is the definitive new team with all of the new X-Men stuff. I don't know if that thought really came out cohesively, but
Cable makes me want to play X-Men. I like Cable a lot.
I mean, you played X-Men at Nationals a couple of years ago.
Yeah, I did. Last year. Not this last year, but 2018. Yeah. I got top 16, lost to Steve DiCarlo.
Yeah.
Because I'm an idiot. He was playing X-Men too.
Is that where you dropped the tank on yourself?
Yep. Thanks for bringing that up. Yep, I did that against Lane.
No, I thought, did you do that against...
No, I did that. That was against Lane. I swear to God, if I was Lane, I would think that I am awful at HeroClix. Every time I play Lane, I do the stupidest plays ever. Like, every single time. I don't know how he has any respect for me.
Well, because he's gotten third place 3 times and you've won once.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh man, I know. We're venturing on a little
trip.
Yeah, we're on a little trip today. It's been a while since we've recorded, so
that's true.
We have a lot of thoughts. But yeah, I mean, so the point being is that someone's going to have to prove, probably to me, definitively that X-Men is back, right? I think, I don't know, like, between, like, the Flurry call-ins and, Kobik mind control and Uni mind control and, Whale, you were whipping up on Wales, in 2018.
Yeah. I mean, I had a good... Yeah, but I don't know if the team is the same. It was vulnerable to that because there was 3 Wolverines on the team, but I don't know if there is anymore, I don't know if it's good against Cable,
I mean, I suppose that's a fair statement.
We'll just have to see,
Right. Yeah, so I mean, here's what I know, is that you look at the back of the card.
Yeah. So you shouldn't be surprised.
Right. You should not be surprised that Wolverine has a stop click.
RTFC is more true now than it ever has been.
Right. So, and so let's let's end our discussion today. I mean, we've got a lot more to talk about, right? I mean, we could probably sit here and talk for another hour. But let's finish up today with your final thoughts on being able to look at the back of your opponent's card the past few weeks.
It's a non-issue for me. I don't even have it. Yeah, it's just a non-issue. It's not a big deal to me. I don't think it affects the game that much.
Yeah. Now, I would say it doesn't affect the game for me personally. Now, I will admit, or will give a little bit of leeway to the folks that are complaining, is that it does make the game a little more mechanical.
I mean, technically.
Because I was able to just ask whatever during states. How many more clicks does it take to KO that guy?
Yeah. Yeah, but see, I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with HeroClix being a perfect information game, as Adam Friedman would say. It's like that's fine. I want my opponent and myself to have the best info to try to make the correct decision. That's where the game is for me, right?
Sure. Yeah, so I mean, I guess from the folks that used to, I used to memorize dials.
I did too. That was probably one of the strongest parts of my game was dial memorization, and it was a big deal.
So, I mean, yeah. So I mean, I can say for folks that were a big proponent of that, I can see how this would bother them.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
It does. I just don't think it affects it that much. It evens the playing field a little bit. I would agree with that to a slight degree. I don't think that's an issue, though.
Yeah, I mean it does even the playing field, but it allows everyone to make the correct decisions. I don't think it slowed down the game any.
No, I don't either.
But if anything, it made my decisions quicker. Because I was able to just quickly ask,
right, and
how many more clicks does that guy have? Okay, well, all right, I want to perplex here, shoot here. All right, let's roll dice.
Right, yeah.
So,
excuse me. Yeah. I don't think it changes the game that much. I don't think people need to flip out over it. It's still HeroClix.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep, it is still HeroClix. You're still turning the dial.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess the only thing I would say is that it does. I would say it does make sense that the card can just contain all of the information now.
It could, but I just never thought about it like as a hidden the thing is supposed to hide the information, the dial, because you can get surprised by it once, but the next game you're not.
Right, so you're thinking of it more as the dial is just a current it's a current indicator of your perfect information.
Yeah, it just dynamically shows how a character changes throughout a battle. I think that's the cool part of HeroClix, right? Because in a card game, you play a card, that's it. That's how strong the card is. That's In HeroClix, the combat dial for me, the coolest part about it was that it would change how you go about the dial. Like the Hulk, the first Hulk I got, wow, this guy gets stronger when he takes damage. That's so cool. That's what the Hulk does, That's how I always took it.
Right, and there's people that, now that everybody knows that you just need to hit that Hulk harder, is not necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah, I don't think it is.
Yeah. No, I like that perspective. That the game was always perfect information. It just doesn't, the dial just holds that spot for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's how I always viewed it anyway. And I know that some people didn't, but that's fine.
Yeah.
They'll get
over
it.
I like that specific explanation of it. Is that to you the dial was always in your mind and always in front of you. The dial the dial length was always in front of you. Mm-hmm. You just liked the fact that the dial would show the current combat values.
Yeah.
Because you always knew how much more to hit it, anyways.
Yeah. Like I said, that was probably the strongest part of my game was knowing the dials.
Yeah. But what I would say is, and for what it's worth, if folks don't want to play for it in a casual game, then
do it.
Then don't do it, right? I think we played with this. So the zombie game that we played with HorrorClix.
Oh, cool.
There was HorrorClix zombie dudes out there, and decidedly, HorrorClix is not HeroClix compatible, but it was a fun casual game.
Yeah.
So it didn't really matter. Do whatever you want with HeroClix. Let your imagination run wild when you're doing a casual game. Like the prime rule, the unique rule, whatever. If you're playing a casual game.
Yeah, that's
you
fine.
know?
Kitchen table games are fun, and there's a place for them.
Yeah, just absolutely go nuts and don't worry about the back of the card stuff for your casual game. Like, use it or don't. Just agree on it as your kitchen table group. Or even, you know what, even at your local store for your monthly OP stuff.
Yeah.
If your whole store agrees, whatever.
Yeah. Or even if they don't. The judge sets the rules for that.
Yeah. No, that's true. Well, there'd be a little bit more, I guess, of an
Backlash,
issue.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's
If
fair.
everybody didn't agree with it at a store, but.
Yeah. Yeah, but those things come up. But yeah. Yeah, I think it's fine.
Well, I do too. Well, in wrapping up, we've got a lot more to record, and we took off a little bit for states here, but we hope to be getting back to you guys full force. And what's your final thoughts to send us out for today, Tyler?
Go to Nate's event on December 7th. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, I'm hoping that Jason gets permission from his wife, and the weather's great for everyone, and if so, then I should be seeing y'all out there. And thanks everybody for listening to Clickstuff today. We'll talk to y'all next time.
See ya.